Demarcation issues have come under the spotlight. Let's speak more on this issue. We're joined via call by Aluwani Ramagadza, who is the acting CEO of the Municipal Demarcation Board. Radzirani, good to have you on the program right now. Perhaps give us a view of just a reaction, general reaction to what we're seeing. Demarcation issues also coming under the spotlight, of course, as voter registration continues.
Yes, certainly. We, as the Municipal Demarcation Board, we are aware that the next coming local government elections are based on wards, which we have delimited. And we are actually also aware that some of the communities are probably only going to be aware of the finalized wards now. But what we plead with everyone is that they should rather go and register to vote so that they can be able to exercise their rights. Because wards have been delimited from 2024, and we have since finalized that process in 2025, late last year. So at this stage, ward boundaries cannot be changed, and we are supposed to change wards every 5 years before each and every local government election, and it's critical that we finalize those on time before the local government elections. Hence, we have completed that work late last year, and we gave people a chance. We have got a program that we call Know Your Ward, which we have been running since the beginning of the year, for people to get to know where their new wards are, because indeed, as I said earlier, wards do change before each and every local government election.
Yeah. We heard from residents of Gatshokwe a short while ago, also hearing from the community chieftaincy or the council there. Let's begin with that situation. What exactly are residents demanding here? And what is the Municipal Demarcation Board's understanding of their concerns that they've raised?
We haven't got the details in terms of what are their issues. But what I can tell you, as I've been saying earlier, is that there are instances where some communities may be unhappy with the final delimited wards for the next local government election. And wards generally change. There are a number of reasons. Where a municipality might have had an extra number of wards, we have to delimit the wards in that particular municipality, and that then affects all the wards that are there. But also to make sure that each ward in a municipality has got almost the same number of registered voters, because we have to equalize. As you would know, from 2021 up to this election, there has been a lot of dynamics in the communities where people are movement of communities from one area to the other. So in that case, we have to make sure that we re-equalize the number of registered voters. So those are some of the things that would possibly be happening in those communities. But as I said, the ward delimitation process has been completed. So now everything is pointing towards the finalization of the preparations for the local government elections.
For the benefit of our viewers, I want us to better understand the workings of the Municipal Demarcation Board, Aluwani. From that perspective, what principles guide decisions for the board, but also speaking to issues around municipal boundaries? Who sets them?
Okay, it's two different processes. The municipal boundary demarcation process is where a particular community moves from one municipality to the next, but ward delimitations happen inside a particular municipality. With regards to ward delimitations, there's a criteria that is set out in the law. One of them is the one that I spoke about, that we know each ward in a municipality must adhere to a certain number of registered voters. So in instances when we do our analysis, we find that a particular ward has exceeded a maximum number of registered voters allowed in that municipality or in that ward, then we have to adjust. The same, there's a minimum as well, just so that when we go to elections, at least all the councillors are competing on almost equal footing in terms of the number of registered voters. Those are some of the principles, but also, where possible, we try by all means not to avoid splitting communities. But this one is not always possible because it's dependent on the number of registered voters. Where a particular community would have a large number of registered voters, in most cases, we would have to then put them in a number of wards, because you may find that a village has got a high number of registered voters that cannot fit in one ward as you apply the maximums and the minimums. So therefore, they may qualify to have more than one ward. So these are some of the things that communities at times may not be happy with. But for a ward to be legitimate, to be able to compete, to be used during the elections, we have to make sure that we adhere to those. So with municipal boundaries, it's a separate process. Yeah. It's also got its own criteria as set out in the law, where we look at the population, the interdependence of the different communities that are in those areas, the traditional areas of traditional communities, the municipalities' financial standing, and all sorts of things related to that.
Yeah. Mr. Ramagadza, we've just heard from residents of Hachokwe as well, once again, to highlight this. I do appreciate that you don't speak for the IEC, nor do you work for the IEC, but we've heard from residents who are linking the demarcation dispute to their decision not to register to vote. Maybe in that case, let us hear your message. What would you like to convey to them, to communities who are considering boycotting these elections?
We say that to our competitors, please, let's go out and register. We will have challenges from place to place, but it's always important and fundamental that we exercise our voting rights and choose the leaders that we want. We should not stop voting just on account of our dissatisfaction with a boundary. Rather, we go out there and exercise our votes and make sure that we've got a say in who leads our particular community. Thanks.
Aluwani Ramagadza, thank you so much for your time.